different twerky tweaks and quirks. Yeah.
Some of them,
really
they all
this
twerk
joy
a little
with-
differently.
They all twerk a little different. Some of them got fat dumpies. Some of them are real lean. I'm just.
There's
falling
our
hard
intro
at the
bit.
seams.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very normal episode of To Kill A Delibird, where we talk about Pokemon, but who cares about that? The Switch 2 got announced, baby! I'm Kellan, who cares about that? Graham's here also. Graham, how you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm the guy who doesn't know that much about Pokemon, but I'm learning along the way. We got the Switch 2 announcement this morning, and we still don't really know anything.
As of
Honestly,
recording.
the leaks told us more than the opening trailer does. So I don't even know what to comment on yet with it, Kellan, right? Like, it looks good, but, like, I don't know. It's definitely just the next Switch.
Yeah, but I think the important thing about the Switch 2 being announced is that it's the Switch 2. Nintendo has this remarkably good system and concept, and they weren't like, let's do something different. They were like, okay, people like this. This works. Let's do it again.
Yeah, the weird
That
part
I
about the
appreciate.
announcement is how normal it was. Yeah,
Right?
that's totally it. That it's just a progression of the Switch. Like, this is very much something you would see from Sony, actually.
Exactly.
Like, this is the PS5, right? It's just like a little bit of a tweak on the last one, backwards compatible, not that different, which is fine for the place they're in. I mean, the kind of games consumer I am now, I mean, that's great. Yeah, I do just want like a little bit of better specs and hopefully some good software and go from there. Yeah.
I mean, for years I've been saying, I don't care about Nintendo's next console. I just want it to be another Switch, like a better Switch. I loved the Wii U, and I will die on the hill that the Wii U is an underrated console, even though it did very, very poorly. But I didn't want something new. I wanted more Switch. I love the model of the handheld and home play, and I just love the Switch, and I can't talk enough. It might be my favorite console of all time, and to just get an improvement, that's just chef's kiss.
It's a handy dandy little machine. Yeah. I like that it's a handheld. I mean, I've been a handheld gamer really most of my life, like more of a Game Boy person, and then DS was great. So yeah, I mean, that's that aspect of Nintendo I've arguably been more into than the consoles. I don't know if that's crazy to say, but they do good stuff on handhelds. So taking that as kind of the way forward, it's been good, yeah. And I also like the Wii U. We like underrated systems here on this podcast. We like weird
Mr.
consoles.
Sega Saturn.
Exactly.
And like Nintendo always had the two pillars beforehand. They had the handheld and they had their consoles. And sometimes a Nintendo Direct would be specifically for one or the other. But now they're just meshed into one, and they can put kind of all of their energy into one system. And with it being the Switch, it's just great, and I love it.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. And so they're going to carry that forward. Last thing I'll say on it, just because you did say, okay, yeah, it's great they didn't do anything wacky. I was totally expecting them to, actually. I was totally expecting them to be like, here's a console you play entirely with your feet. The future is using your feet to control a system. It can jerk you off while you play. It has an extra arm that comes out and wipes your ass. And you'd be like, oh,
we're going to implant the controller into your brain.
Yeah, something
New
like that.
Nintendo president is Elon Musk.
Oh, no.
No.
But this does show a change in leadership. Not like in that direction, but I think they are moving away from the continuous toy-like sort of wackiness. But maybe they'll still do stuff like, what's that, Nintendo Labo? You know, that shows that they're still open to fuckery. So, I mean
they literally announced an alarm clock like a month or two ago, so.
Oh, yeah.
that was weird.
So maybe they'll have their fuckery with peripherals and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great. If you're going to be weird, do it with peripherals. That's fun. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ring Fit is cool.
Oh,
the Wii was just one big peripheral.
Yeah, but look at the peripherals for the Wii. Babysitting
the
Mama
peripherals for
had a baby. There was a baby.
Wait, what? What is Babysitting Mama? I don't think I know this.
You know Cooking Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah, same series, but babysitting. And the Wii one came with a baby.
Oh my god,
that you put the Wii remote into its back.
Holy fuck, this is
it's hilarious.
Crazy. Man, is this a collector's item now? I want this.
I don't know.
This is so fucked. Oh,
I would
okay,
love
okay.
it. I'd love to have it.
About
It'd be great.
$50 Canadian
Well, that's
on
not bad.
eBay for game and game doll. Nice.
Oh, I would do that. That's not
That's
bad.
not bad at all.
Yeah.
Be a mama just
Tony
like
Hawk. Tony Hawk games
babysitting
had a
mama.
skateboard
Right.
that you stand on. Yeah, it's just crazy. Lots of stuff.
Holy crap. This is one of the
Fascinating things.
crazier ones. I had never heard of this
Mhm.
thing.
That's amazing.
Babysitting mama.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the Nintendo Switch 2. New Nintendo Switch 2 U, new funky mode. And Knuckles.
And Dante from Devil May Cry.
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. So what's going on?
Not much. I'm still for
Cool.
video games. I'm still very addicted to Into the Breach. Talked about that some other week though, so I don't need to go into it again. But very fun game. It's kind of old though, so yes, I'm getting hooked on an older game. I did play, I guess, something topical. Everybody and their dog is playing Marvel Rivals right now. That's like the very popular like game on Twitch and online and stuff. So I and one of our viewers in a comment was like, "You should play Marvel Rivals," and I was like, "I don't know how to play shooters." Anyways, I downloaded it. It's free to play. It's on PC and PlayStation, Xbox. I downloaded it and I played 3 matches last night. And Kellan, I had no idea what the fuck was going on or what I'm doing. I do not know how to play like online, like team-based games. And they're I play fighting games and I play, other tons of single player stuff, but I don't know if I know how to work as a team. I don't know if I have those abilities.
Yeah, I play Splatoon and that's about it.
Splatoon counts.
In terms of team-based.
I would say Splatoon counts. Yeah. When I'm watching it, when I'm watching Splatoon, the same feeling goes on in my brain.
What the fuck's going on?
Well, where I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. That being said, I did have fun, so that is what counts. Although I didn't know what I was doing, it was fun. Movement's fun, and they have a whole bunch of different characters from the Marvel universe. I won a match with Rocket Raccoon. I have no idea if I contributed to the win. Won another with Namor. So it's cool you get to play with these characters you like. Then I tried Scarlet Witch and really didn't know I didn't even know I was doing damage with Scarlet Witch. So we lost that one. Probably all because of me. That's okay.
Screw all of those characters. We are all in on Jeff the Landshark. That's it.
Oh, you're aware of Jeff the Landshark. Nice.
Absolutely. I watched Doug did one stream, a sponsor stream, and I love Jeff. He's my favorite.
Yeah, Jeff.
He also did not know what was going on.
Looks all right.
That was fun.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Okay, I'm right there with Doug.
I've been playing Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and let me tell you, that's been a joy. It's a very fun game. It's Kirby, so it's easy, but it's fun. It's a fun romp through a new Kirby adventure.
It's a good iteration on Kirby because it's different. It's like kind of isometric.
Well, I've never really played Kirby. The only other Kirby game I think I even own is Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii.
Oh, and
I enjoyed that one.
Game. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's fun too.
So you haven't played like the big deal old ones. Like you haven't played Kirby's Dream Land 2 or you haven't played Kirby All-Star. Those are the goats.
There's a couple
if you ask me.
There's a couple early ones I've played a little bit of, but I haven't like played all through them. Someday I'll get to
I think they're on Switch Online.
I think so. But from what I've seen online too, like people really like Forgotten Land. It's his first like fully 3D adventure. And I found it to be very fun. My depth perception in it is quite fucked though. And, that's been a problem. Okay. But otherwise,
well, it's sort of like 3D on an angle, right? That's why I said isometric. Isn't it sort of like 45
No, it's fully 3D
kind of thing? Oh, like you can turn the camera and stuff?
To a point, yeah, but you're moving in 3 dimensions.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's 360-degree movement.
Yeah, I get that. It's still isometric though, right?
It's closer to like Super Mario 3D World.
Yes.
Exactly. What you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But it's still 3D, so it's fun. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I didn't say it's not 3D. That's like a type of 3D.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But you get to swallow a car, and that makes it cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should go back and play some of the classics. I would recommend Dreamland 2, and I would recommend Kirby All-Star.
Kirby-thon on
Both of
stream?
those are very fun. I mean, none of them are long games, so you could fly.
Yeah.
And they're not that hard either.
Subathon. Kirby Subathon.
A Kirby Subathon.
I'll get through one game because I'll get 2 subs, and then we'll be done.
It's a fun idea, though, Kev.
Yes.
Well, tell me, Kellan, let's get into Pokemon.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Actually, you know what? So to connect Kirby and Pokemon, do you know my wife actually thought Kirby was a Pokemon?
I believe you
Because we
talked
played
about this
Smash
before,
Brothers
yes.
all the time, and then she's like, at one time I was talking about Kirby, she's like, wait, Kirby isn't a Pokemon? She's like, he looks like a Pokemon.
He looks suspiciously like
Fair.
Jigglypuff.
Well, yeah, he looks just like Jigglypuff.
Which is partly why Jigglypuff, I believe, was in the first Smash Bros. Was because they could reuse Kirby assets.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that sounds right. Well, Kellan, tell me, what are we going to talk about today, Pokemon-wise? What are the episodes?
Oh, well, today we're talking about the Joy of Water Pokémon, as well as Got Miltank?
The Joy of Water Pokémon in Japanese, the Nurse Joy who hates water Pokemon, exclamation mark, question mark, Kasumi's anger. Ooh. And Got Miltank in Japanese, Mother Miltank. Oh boy. The Desert's Secret?
The Nurse Joy who hates water Pokemon, Kasumi's anger is like top 3 Japanese names for me. It's funny.
It's so good. I like how their names have like subtitles, right?
It's just like a sentence.
It's like the Nurse Joy who hates water Pokemon, Kasumi's anger. Yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
So in that episode that we'll get into, Kellan, we're dealing with a bit of irony, right? Because we've got this Joy who's renowned for water Pokemon, but it turns out she is scared and appalled of water Pokemon. Things are gross. It's the opposite of what you would have expected, just hearing that she's this great water Pokemon healer, right? So I wanted to dig into that and say, what other big ironic twists could there be lurking in the Pokemon franchise?
Oh.
Okay. What big twists could there be with the various characters? All right. So let's go. These are top 10 ironic twists with Pokemon characters that are sitting just beneath the surf. You want to get into it?
I mean, if we must. If you insist, I guess.
Okay. Well, we don't have to. We can just stop the recording here and ship it.
You know what? I don't have as much time this week. That would work. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we're done. Okay, bye, folks.
All right, see ya. And we got him. I think we got him.
We got him. Okay. Okay. No, let's get back to the list. Let's get into the
number
bit.
10.
Let's hit it up. Number 10. What if Brock wasn't horny at all? What if he's just compensating and there's actually no horniness there at all?
He is fully asexual and just trying to
blend in.
Overcompensate.
This got sad.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Brock.
He can't. He's struggling to accept himself. Aww.
Yeah. Aw. He just needs a good support group. Yeah, it's okay.
It's natural.
Aw. No, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know who else
Number
feels
9.
like shit? It's Misty whenever there's a bug Pokemon. But it turned out that Misty is best friends with a Caterpie. His name is Caterpeter, and he lives in her backpack.
I love Caterpeter.
Caterpeter, right?
He's my new favorite character. I love him. I must protect him.
Misty's best friend,
I will name my next
Caterpeter.
Caterpie after him.
That's the least you could do. How often do you get a Caterpie, though?
Not often. No. Number 8.
Turns out that Ash doesn't even want to be the very best like no one ever was. He just wants to be decent.
So you're just taking all these characters and being like, no, but no. What if no?
Negating them. Don't give my secrets away. It's the anti-Ash. With no, what's the word? Competitive spirit.
It's Ash's shadow, like in Zelda 2.
Yeah, Ash's Zelda 2 Shadow is the exact same as Ash, but he doesn't have ambition.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm fine,
guy.
like, not really training, like, whatever.
I
don't need badges. Professor Oak is not interested in studying Pokemon at all. He just wants to dance. It's a cruel fate.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say he just wants to bang Delia, and I was like, yeah, well, we know that.
Well, we know that, but this is a different world, a darker world, where he cannot dance, but he must, and he wants to.
I don't want to live in that world.
I know. So sad.
Number 6.
Pikachu is allergic to static electricity. Actually sneezes every time he's got to Thunderbolt.
What a horrific fate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All of these are a terrible existence for these folks. Much like the Joy, who is compelled to help the water Pokemon, yet appalled at every action she does. A duality that sits like rotten spaghetti in the stomach of reality.
Who don't eat rotten spaghetti.
Yeah, there you go. Simple as that.
Yeah. Number 5.
He's solved as existentialism, people. Number 5. Meowth isn't a cat, but a really ugly dog. Imagine they reveal that in the show one day. I'm not a
It's
cat at
probably
all.
in the deck somewhere.
I'm not even a cat. I'm an ugly dog. Damn.
I'm a dog. I'm a golden retriever. I can't retrieve anything.
There you go. We've been trying to retrieve gold for 1,000 episodes.
I'm actually a pit bull, but that's Mr. Worldwide. Okay, number 4.
It's because we dig so many pits. Number 4. Jessie doesn't actually have hair, just a symbiotic relationship with an undiscovered fire Pokemon.
Yeah, she's the host. It's just a parasite.
Exactly. There's no...
Yeah.
She's actually bald, and it's this
It's like a big
creature.
leech.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A fire leech. Flaming leech.
Ooh, that'd be a cool Pokemon. They should do that.
Flame leech? Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah. Well, they did a fire centipede, so we're getting close.
Oh, right. I think I have that in the card game. Scoliopede or something like that.
Sizzlipede and Centiscorch.
Sizzlipede, yeah. Number 3. James's bottle cap collection is actually being gathered to start a bottling company. This is how he thinks you get supply.
No, I think he thinks that bottle caps are what NFTs are. He doesn't understand that they're digital.
I mean, that is his style in the show for sure.
Yeah.
He wants to grift with them, and he's so easily grifted too, so the cycle just continues.
Look at this bottle cap. It has a cool monkey on it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Bored ape. No,
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, bored ape, right? Is that what it's called?
Something about an ape.
Something about an ape.
Stupid. Number 2.
Graham doesn't think Delia is hot.
Oh!
What a twist.
I wouldn't know who you are anymore.
Really? That's what defines me?
A little
Thirsting
bit.
over a cartoon mom? That's shameful.
It was one of the first things you talked about on the podcast. So
you gotta spice it up. You gotta hit heavy. You gotta give the people what they want, Kellan, and sex sells.
I don't know if that's what they wanted, but sure.
Shout me out in the comments if that's what you wanted.
Number 1, I don't actually like Pokemon.
Yes, you got it. You called it. Number 1 is a twist where Kellan doesn't like Pokemon. He's just too far gone, and he doesn't know anything else.
I'm too far down the rabbit hole, and I can't let anybody know that I'm just reading Bulbapedia constantly.
Yeah, you're basically...
Which, I mean, that's also true.
On, zombie mode at this point.
Yeah.
And Pokemon information has just sculpted your brain, so you're held hostage by it.
I mean, that part's not false.
Right. But it's a, it's a Beauty and the Beast situation.
Mm-hmm.
Stockholm syndrome.
It's a beautiful thing. All right.
So that's my
list. Shall we get into the Joy of Water Pokemon?
Yeah, and I buried the lead a bit. We're gonna learn about this crazy situation with a Joy. We're back in filler territory, Kellan. Like maybe the most fillery of fillers.
Oh, baby,
these
yes.
Next two. So fill me up, Kellan. How does this episode go?
The Joy of Water Pokemon, again, there was an episode in the Orange Islands called just The Joy of Pokemon. If you'll remember, that's the episode where they swapped the accent for a slash, and I called him out on it. So I paid attention this time. They used an accent on the E. So well done. Well done, Pokemon. You did it.
And that episode's better than this one. One, because it has buff, tan, Joy, and the other because of the whole, grammatical escapades that we got to go on. That was a joy. That was a joy.
Fun.
That was a blast. That was a Jenny. Yeah.
Well, we're still on the way to Olivine, but we stop at a crystal clear lake. It's Lake Lucid. Misty knows about it. Why does she know about it? Well, she's a water trainer. All water trainers dream about visiting the Pokemon Center here at Lake Lucid. And then suddenly a Goldeen pops up being held by, oh my god, it's the ghost of Captain Cutler. Oh. No, it's a girl, actually, in a suit.
It's one of those old-timey scuba suits, too, that I was almost imagining having, like, a tube, away from it, and the person's, like, trying to excavate an old pirate ship for gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, first thing I thought was Captain Cutler from Scooby-Doo is emerging from the lake.
I don't remember that reference, actually. Which Scooby-Doo is that in?
Killing me. Like, the original series.
Oh, yeah, that's an episode.
He's one of the ghosts, Ghost of Captain Cutler.
I've probably seen it. I watched that show a lot as a kid, but like I don't remember any specific episode.
Oh well. No, it's a girl, Brock says. He can just tell. He's got this thing about him.
His heart doesn't fail. Yeah, and
Womp womp.
this female in a scuba suit is holding a Goldeen. A Goldeen that may be hurt because she calls for the water stretcher, and some
It's just a
chanties
tank.
show up. It is just a fish tank, I know. And they take the Goldeen away in the water stretcher. I thought that verbiage was quite hilarious. And the suit now is being extracted. The female's being the female. That's a real Brock
The
incel
female.
energy. There's a female.
The female
in there.
is extracted from the suit. Let's see how she reacts
Yeah, and it is
to the
joy.
newcomers in her territory.
It is the joy.
It is a joy.
The
yes,
titular joy.
There's a thick suit, but Brock's heart saw right through it. Aww.
He's gushing. My friends call me Brock. Everyone calls me Brock. Prefer if you call me your boyfriend.
Heyo. Misty's, though, also quite enamored by this joy.
Yeah, she
Like,
outgushes
oh my god, it's
him.
her.
Oh my god, can I have your autograph? My sisters are gonna be so jealous.
Take a chill pill, Misty.
Yeah, Misty.
She says Pikachu's a little tired. It's cute. Let's go inside for a treatment. And Brock's like, oh yeah, I'd love a treatment and attention from you. You're a woman.
If you know what I mean. I swear, if a woman comes, well, we've seen this with the Tamaku. If a woman comes onto him, like, reciprocates, he'll run for the hills.
Oh yeah, he has
he's
no
a
idea how to
coward.
deal with that. Ash is still very confused about all of this. What's the why are we obsessed with this joy? What's going on?
We meet a joy every few weeks.
Yeah. Well, apparently this Joy is an author. She wrote A Spring Without Pokemon. And Joy says, no, that was actually my grandma. It was 50 years ago. So I'm obviously not that old.
And we get a whole flashback of what led up to A Spring Without Pokemon. Pollution had destroyed this lake. And this Joy's grandmother dedicated work learning about the effects of pollution, wrote all about it, right? Got all the details down about how this pollution was wrecking the lake. I mean, you can kind of tell that it was fucking up the lake. That's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Brock still wants a signature, even though, the grandmother's not there.
Implied dead, I would say.
Well, yeah. And through these flashbacks, we get to see how the Joys do look identical. And regardless of age, kind of, too. I don't know. It's also, it's all so straight. They have to be clones, Kellan. And I think they have fixed expiry dates. We don't see them really age, Kellan. We see them die, apparently, allegedly. But we don't see them age. I think they have expiry dates. I can't tell if they're natural, if it's just like, these clones just give out when they hit 40, or if there's some kind of more sinister culling. When they're 40, the clones are checked back in. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's an expiry date, because that's, that's what the best before date tattooed on them like a tramp stamp is.
What, on their lower back? They get the whole milk jug treatment?
Tramp stamp best before October 14th, 1999.
And you might get an extra week if you're lucky. Don't trust it 100%.
It's best before, not bad after,
Yeah.
So, Ash is just, looking at the lake. He's like, wow, it's just as clear as the bottled stuff. This boy's been tainted by capitalism, I tell you. How'd he get cleaned? Brock finds another book, Summer of Muck. And so he wants her to sign it to my beloved Brocky. But no, this one was her mother. Her grandmother wrote the first one. Her mother wrote this one. She was able to continue the work, got those BP oil fucks to stop dumping shit in the lake.
Yeah, had a beautiful Aaron Brockovich moment. This Joy really excelled at navigating the legal system and activism. Got that lake drained and refilled. Get a whole flashback of her fixing the lake, building the Poke Center, the whole thing.
Eventually, the water Pokemon came to live here, and then here we are. She's doing the things now, working the center. And, then we see some Pokemon, with Tentacool, Dugong, and a Gyarados, which Gyarados pops up, and Misty isn't impressed by this thing.
She doesn't even want to look at Gyarados. I guess she's scared of it. The Pokemon are all here because the water's clean. They also get emotional treatment, emotional well-being, apparently.
To which Brock says, I need emotional build-up, Nurse Joy. Maybe you can help me. And Misty grabs him by the ear. If you have an emotional build-up over her, I guarantee it'll be a letdown for you. Is this an impotent joke?
Or a blow your load or a blue balls joke, maybe. It might be a blue balls joke. Yeah.
But that would be a letdown for both of them, wouldn't it?
Only if she wants it.
But whatever.
Right? It's Misty's implying it's non-consensual, so it's not going to go well for you, Brock. I think she's thinking of Ivy. Remember how every time he would just shudder? We still don't know what happened.
Yeah, what happened to that?
I don't know.
Weird thing we missed last week talking about when Celebi shows up and everything. How that's the reason the GS ball will never come back, because they were just like, we're putting Celebi in this movie, so just forget about the GS ball, everybody, please, and thank you.
Yeah, and there wasn't an organic way to have Celebi come out of the ball, because like she's like an ancient spirit that watches. It's connected to a forest. So it wouldn't make sense for her to be in a ball.
They should have just changed the ending and made another Celebi come out of that ball to come and heal her. I don't know. Probably would have been lame, but it would have been something, I tell you.
Or the GS ball has some kind of healing properties. It actually was empty inside.
No, they open it up, and the real treasure is the friends we made along the way.
I hate that trope, but
I love it. It's so funny.
In Pokemon, it would have worked.
Like, the real good place is the friends we made along the way.
Actually, I like the friends we made along the way. I don't like it when they say it was in you all along.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
You didn't need the MacGuffin. It was in you all along. That I'm like, well, why did we waste that fucking time then? You already had the thing. What the fuck are we doing here?
Yep. Anyway, I think we agree. This is some kind of sexual misfortune joke about a letdown for you.
That's right.
Yes. But he still wants an autograph. There's a Seadra and Dugong going at it, and they're like, nah, it's just a practice battle. Ash is just there. He's like, I want to see a real battle. Ash is just such a petulant child in this episode.
I mean, he is. He is that most episodes.
Like, this is not your episode, Ash.
If it's not something he's like 100% interested in, which is Pokemon battling, like, he doesn't give a fuck, and he's a whiny little bitch about it.
He really is. Brock still wants an autograph from her, but she hasn't written a book. But she's gonna do it. She's gonna write one, and she's gonna call it an autumn harvest of Pokemon to continue the theme of the book titles. And then her daughter will write one, the winter when all the Pokemon froze to death.
Yes, the winds of winter. We're still waiting for that one, Joy. That's what the name of the next Game of Thrones book is supposed to be called, Kellan.
Mm-hmm.
That was announced in 2011.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
I am so old. And I read the last one when I was so young.
I have doubled my age since then.
Yeah. What the fuck?
More than that. Well, Team Rocket, they're spying in from a new sub. It's a Tentacruel. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Oh, it's cool, and it's cruel.
They get pulled in by another Tentacruel that wants to have a practice battle because he thinks that it's another Tentacruel.
I thought it was, this is a bit of a sexually charged episode so far, I thought he was going to start mating with them.
Oh yeah, just start humping it from the back.
Do you know how Tentacruel reproduce, and then all the tentacles just start going in orifices and stuff?
Well, nobody knows how Pokemon reproduce. No one's ever seen it.
Oh, right, I remember that. Yeah. It's a strictly anti-voyeuristic society.
It's even funnier in Scarlet and Violet, because like you have your breeding-capable Pokemon in your party, and then you have a picnic, and then the eggs just pop up in the picnic basket.
Oh my god.
Over time. Yeah.
So you don't know about breeding or even the birth process, right? It's just boom, eggs.
Just egg. Boom. There's an egg in your You open the picnic basket and you're like, oh shit, there's 6 eggs in here. What happened?
That's so
I didn't buy them from the store.
That's so Nintendo in a way.
It really is.
Having that sort of we're not good. Yeah, having that sort of like censorship layer on stuff.
But it's kind of funny. Like, I don't want to see.
It's funny.
I don't want to see Pokemon railing each other. It's funny that the egg just shows up.
That wasn't censorship, the dog whistle term. That was like, it's fine. Yeah, it's
pixelation. It's the pixelation censorship.
Oh, like Japanese porn? Is that what you're getting at now? I'm sure that we would have had a lot of those if the Tentacruel did that to the sub.
Which, back to that, Tentacruel, goes for Supersonic. Ouchies. It hurts Team Rocket. But back to the gang. They're going to go to the center. Team Rocket, they emerge again from the water. They're real messed up. If it wasn't a practice battle, we'd be real hurt.
Yeah, good one. Meowth. Love those
It's a
puns.
subtle one. Pikachu gets recharged inside. Misty's like, I know my Pokemon aren't like hurt or anything, but I'd be honored if you would give him a checkup. And Joy's down for that. And so she's like, oh, here's my water Pokemon. Joy's like,
Water Pokemon.
What did you say? Did you say water Pokemon? Get them away from me. Don't let them touch me. I don't want to see them at all. He's screaming.
I hate those type of Pokemon. This Joy is a racist.
And and everyone's very confused, including Pikachu, which I loved.
Yeah, they're like, okay, are we still in the 60s? What is going on, Joy?
Water Pokemon can vote now, Joy. Get with it.
It's 2025, Joy.
Yeah, right.
I was like, what?
Good lord. All the Tentacruel are steering clear of Team Rocket Sub, seemingly because it sucks at battling, and so none of them want to bother. So that's good for them.
Yeah, they're like, what's this beta bitch? I don't even want to talk to it.
They find the underwater entrance, though. Back to Joy. She can't stand the sight of those Pokemon. Ash is very confused.
What do you mean, those Pokemon?
So true. Ash is confused. She was just holding Pikachu. And it's like, oh my god, Ash, this is... Oh, Jesus Christ.
You sweet summer child. This is the autumn, Joy. And things are getting a little chillier.
Like... She freaks out when Misty says water Pokemon, and you're like, but you held Pikachu, he's electric. Oh.
He takes baths. No, so it turns
he's
out...
He's 70% water.
It turns out she hates those awful, terrible water Pokemon. She'll only touch water Pokemon in the suit. She hates them. We got a green eggs and ham whole thing going on with how much she says she hates them. This is turning Misty's dream into a nightmare. Oh my god. Joy's happy to treat them. She just can't touch them. So she's getting in the suit, and Misty's like, well, now I don't want it. No, now I don't.
Yeah.
And now Joy's offended by her getting offended. She's like, my personal preference doesn't affect my job performance. She's like, all right.
I don't point it out that often, like the quality of voice acting, but I loved these moments with Misty after she realizes, because she says, like, no, I'll just take him to a different center. But it's like, it's so authentic and real, it feels. Like, it's so quiet and subdued. It really just feels like she is very, very disappointed. And just, good voice acting there.
I agree. I mean, yeah, we should call out the voice acting more often. Because in general, especially for this era of anime dubs, and I think there's a reason that Pokemon did get so popular, on TV as a dubbed show. Like, I don't think a lot of people that watch even viewed it as anime. The dub's higher quality than a lot, for sure. Like, the voice actors really nail their characters. And yeah, you're right. Misty had this sort of dejected feeling that's coming through more from the tone than the dialogue. So yeah, nice point.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, how dare you assume my biases impact my performance? We see some giant water tanks with a bunch of Pokemon in it. The Chansey tend to do most of the work, it would seem, her assistants with the water Pokemon. And then there's the Gyarados that Misty doesn't like. And Ash is like, see, even Misty, you don't like some water Pokemon. She's like, yeah, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, Joy's like, all have Pokemon they like and Pokemon they dislike. You
can't help it.
I mean, Misty hates bug Pokemon. Why not?
Yeah. Water Pokemon to me? No way, Jose. That was actually a line. She said, no way, Jose. And
yeah, I wrote that down too, because I was like, Jose. A lot of Jose's in the Pokemon universe. That's good.
Yeah. But she's still on this that, she doesn't let it impact her career or taking care of Pokemon. She's developed all kinds of treatments and whatnot for water Pokemon. She's going to write that book. That's what it's going to be about. But Misty ain't having it. How can you know what they're feeling if you hate them? You can't know. Why work with them? You just do something else. Oh my god.
Misty used to admire this Joy, and it's all shattered. She's super let down. Sag
all the way. Not Poggies, it's Sag.
It ain't Poggies at all.
That's the scale, Sag to Poggies.
Joy is so sorry, because she used to love water Pokemon. But one day, everything changed. And we get a flashback. She's with her mom, who looks an awful lot like her, that she does now, but she doesn't look like then. And we see that there are baby Joys, Joylings, let's call them, that then go into a cocoon for several months and come out fully grown. She's with her mom in a boat investigating the Remoraid population. Kellan, what the fuck's going on with Remoraids? Weren't they like...
They're all over the place.
Yeah, but weren't they like not around at all in that one episode? The idea was like they'd gone extinct, but then they actually existed?
It wasn't that they went extinct, I think.
But they like didn't know about them or something? I thought they were supposed to be far more elusive.
No, because they were the reason that the light showed up in that episode. Right. And we just didn't know. We just like hadn't gone up there.
Oh, it was just a hidden spot of Remoraids? Okay.
Yeah. But no one has ever caught one because they did the thing where they school together.
Right. I thought they were supposed to be much more rare, but like, I feel like they pop up in random episodes now. So yeah, anyways, they're investigating the Remoraid population. It shot Joy with water, the young Joy. She fell in the lake, and then they all surround her and shoot her back in the boat. A weird little amusement park ride of a moment, but it was scary, especially since she was so young. She was okay, but terrified. Mm-hmm. Now, there's many Remoraid in there, which is good because it means the water was clean, and we get that watercolor picture showing the Remoraid surrounding her. But Joy's just talking about it in terms of like this trauma.
And then she extrapolated and generalized all water types to that. It's not cool, Joy.
Yeah. So my trauma has made me think of all Pokemon that are slightly blue and maybe scaly as the enemy.
To be fair, that is many Pokemon.
Right.
Well, Misty's still pissed. Joy grew up to still like continue her mother's work as she promised her mother. Misty, though, still pissed off about this. But Joy gives this whole thing, I'm still happy, despite all of these things that I hate being around, despite my insane racism and bigotry toward water Pokemon.
My
I'm
deep
happy.
Prejudice, my deep-seated prejudice. They're not, I'm fine. We can agree to disagree. She's going to do the best she can to honor her grandma and her mother. She loves the lake. She can still help the Pokemon. She gets joy from that. Doesn't really matter if she likes
And then suddenly Tentacruel. And they're like, we were in the home of the water Pokemon. Oh, hey, look, it's the Twerps. They had no idea.
Yeah, they just stumbled across it. Now, Joy recognizes it's a fake Tentacruel right away. Yep. She is a water Pokemon expert, after all.
Yep. No change to the model this time, but they do most of it underwater, which was entertaining.
It's like a synchronized, no change in the dialogue,
no words.
But what they were doing was pretty funny. It's like a synchronized swimming sort of thing, but then they're also like drowning during part of it, which was kind of funny, I thought, actually.
Yeah, it was a good one. First things first, gotta get Pikachu. So Tentacool out, jumps, and then James is like, this Tentacruel has more legs than a chorus line. So they whip out all the tentacles, grab him. Pikachu goes for the Thunderbolt, but nope, it's all rubber. Can't affect it. But
one
what's
for the money,
that
two
tingling?
For the show. We're going to grab you and never let you go.
Yes. But what's that tingling sensation? And Jesse's like, oh, well, you know what? We just came from the water. Well, you know what?
We're wet
electricity is conducted by water. And kaboom, it blows up, goes down the drain. Down the drain again. A part of it breaks the Gyarados tank, and also the Captain Cutler suit goes down the drain with it as Gyarados falls out of its tank. Oh god.
You can tell how that has been set up this whole episode to be a terrible, terrifying situation. The Gyarados is free, who we're all scared of and who Joy is prejudiced against. And the suit is gone, the one thing that was letting her uphold her nursely duty, while still maintaining her dignity with regards to her trauma. This Gyarados is free. It is roaring. It could injure itself because it has a hurt neck. Remember, we learned before. And this thing is all neck. So that's a problem.
So Ash is like, Pikachu can handle it? What is Pikachu going to handle here?
It's not a battle, Ash.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Pikachu could beat it up. It's hurt. It's going to be easy. Like, oh my god.
We can catch it and take it to a Pokemon Center. Oh, wait a second.
Wait a second.
Well, they tell him, no, Ash, it'll lash out. No, Ash, it'll die, really.
Yeah.
We gotta do something. And so Joy steps up. She's like, I gotta do what I gotta do. And the gang is like, wait, you're a bigot. You can't do that. You can't grow.
She's like, nursely duty trumps bigotry. There's a slogan.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been worse if Joy was like, no, I'm just gonna let it die. I don't want to touch that. That's gross.
Yeah, nurses can't pick and choose their patients, he says. It's a nurse's duty to heal the sick. Good message. Says she's going to do what she's got to. Music kicks in. Very fun moment.
And she touches Gyarados on the forehead, like not weirdly, but he calms down, and that's good. So
she
did
it. Yeah, and the music ramping up through that. Very nice. She sure knows how to handle a Gyarados, Brock says.
If you know what I mean. Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, Brock, you're not even subtle.
And then Gyarados eats her whole. One bite.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like a Titan from Attack on Titan. Just chomp.
And then she runs all the way to the end and gets pooped out.
Maybe she becomes a Gyarados.
Ooh, what a twist of fate. Oh my goodness.
That would have been an interesting exploration for the episode, that she wakes up the next morning. That was a terrible dream. I thought I was a Gyarados. Looks in the mirror. It's not a dream.
That would be so... I don't know if that'd be dumb, weird, or amazing, or all three.
It'd be too
Probably
much for
three.
Pokemon, but maybe like a robot chicken parody of Pokemon.
Yeah.
That would work.
Well, Chansey bring the brace in to get back on his neck. Gyarados is breathing really hard on Joy, and you can tell she's like, "Oh, I hate this." Which, I mean, okay, let's be real, that would be bad. It's like when a dog is like, breathing
breath.
on you hard.
Yeah,
whoa, gross, nasty. But she's like getting herself through it by repeating to herself, "There's no Pokemon that's better than any other. There's no Pokemon that's worse than any other. They're all precious creatures." And that was from The Spring Without Pokemon by her grandma. Aww.
And then she drops a quote from her mother. "The song of every Pokemon is sweet if you can hear it." It's a line from her mother's book.
Well, everything seems good now. Take Gyarados back to the tank. And so Joy would still like to give Misty's Pokemon an examination. Oh, she fainted.
It's too much water Pokemon for one day. She deserves the rest now. Misty agrees with that. We get a cutaway.
Togepi gives her a little pat, and that was so cute.
That's
oh
cute.
My god. I loved it. Misty's kind of starstruck again. She's kind of like gotten it back. She's like, yeah, she may be like a terrible person, but she did this one thing, so I'm gonna let it slide.
She just recalibrates. We're making a lot of jokes here, but really in the context of the episode, Joy is still dedicating her life to helping water Pokemon. That's what Misty had built her up in her head for, and that is still true. She didn't fit the mold. She didn't fit the same expectations that she thought she would, right? Those notions that she'd built up in her head. She's very much a person with a lot of flaws, but she has her job. She loves it. She's doing it. She's still going to write that book, damn it, and everyone wants to read it.
Brock's going to buy 2 copies, and hopefully she'll sign at least one of them.
Yeah, maybe.
So... But when they come back, after she's woken back up and they're leaving... This is my favorite line in these 2 episodes. Line of the week is when Joy goes, "I'm sorry I wasn't able to touch your Pokemon." Brilliant.
That's your line, really?
I mean,
so that's pretty. I mean, this one is full of weird sexually charged lines.
Yeah.
That one's good. I mean, she really knows how to handle a Gyarados. It's like an S tier
That's
Brock
go-to.
line. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's some good ones. But Misty's are in top condition. But Ash is like, so you touched that Gyarados and it was fine, but you're not going to change how you feel about water Pokemon? And Joy's like, no, they're fucking filthy creatures. I hate them.
They're bottom feeders. They eat plankton.
Gross. Nasty stuff, though. But she has a job to do, and she's going to do it despite that. She's got a book to write. They leave, and the narrator gives a nice long blurb about, doing stuff that you hate doing, because you got to do it. Which, I mean, all kids need to learn that lesson.
True.
And that's the episode. Now, before we kick it to Literary Hour, I do have a question here for us to answer. Now, if you listened last week, you'll know we have a new Google form in every description to send in your questions. And I gotta say, I love it. It just sends the questions directly into our spreadsheet. It's fucking sick. Now, you can use the Google form. You just gotta give us your name, the episode you're talking about, and your question. You can also bookmark the Google form if you're a repeat asker, which is cool too. Besides the point. And I will try to keep up with updating the form with whatever episodes we are recording next. So if you go to the form and you see that we're not recording the episode you have a question for because maybe we already recorded it, then you don't have to worry about sending in the question. So win-win for everybody again. Now, for the question that I have, this is from T-Bone, who I assume that is Tristan. But I do encourage everybody to name yourself a silly nickname every time and change it up. Keep us on our toes. I think that's fun. T-Bone asks, Do you think it is lazy or a cop-out to have Joy/Jenny be the character of the day? This won't be the last time, and I wonder how repetitive and uninspired this will feel down the line. Now, if we want to get technical about it, they aren't technically characters of the day. We would probably count them as... No, we wouldn't, because they have their own category. But they're not technically a character of the day. Those are like unique characters for the show that only show up one time. But it is an interesting question. Is it kind of a cop-out to make a Jenny or Joy their own character instead of making a new character? Or is it interesting? I think it's interesting because it gives us a new spin on what's otherwise just a clone.
Yeah, I tend to like it because what it does is it gives us world building too, since Jenny and Joy are like part of the infrastructure of the land. It gives us some insights into how this world functions, right? Like, because it's an actual system of the Joys and the Jennies. And that's why I think there's such a compelling source of, what's the word? Paranoia in my brain. What is going on here? So I tend to find them interesting. Now, could you say they're a cop-out? I mean, because they don't need to do a whole new design. But here's the thing. The character of the week designs usually suck ass. So I would much rather have a Jenny or a Joy compared to these like super generic cutouts, characters where sometimes like the vast majority of them I do not remember, right? They're very forgettable, both appearances and personality. So at least Jenny and Joy's are distinct enough. They have interesting designs, they fit into the world. And then there's clearly ways for them to work, gives them some room to work to give them different sort of twerks, sort of tweaking their personality. Quirks. Did I say twerks? God, I'm getting tired.
I believe you said twerks.
Gives them different twerky tweaks and quirks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, they all twerk a little differently.
They all twerk a little different. Some of them got fat dumpies. Some of them are real lean. I'm just
there's our intro bit.
I'm following part of the themes here, Kellan. My point was, we got buff Joy, we got scared of water Pokemon Joy. Have we seen they haven't really done this with Jennies yet, have
No,
they?
not really.
I mean, we see a Jenny with like the Spinnerack or Jenny with the Squirtle Squad, but those are just Jennies that have like slightly different responsibilities. These aren't Jennies that are like, I'm really into knitting. I'm the Jenny who knits. That'd be good.
I abandoned all of my police duties to crochet.
Yeah. I do want to see the Jenny who left the force, right? I just disagreed fundamentally with what we represented,
That'll be I don't think that was the rhetoric back in the 90s. So
she's like smoking a cigarette in every scene.
Yeah. That'll be an interesting episode when we get there.
Yeah.
All right. I do agree. I think having a different Jenny or Joy is an interesting little twist on things, because otherwise they are pretty much the same. And there are plenty of other characters of the day that we forget. So, yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. Now book it, baby.
Okay, so the trope I'm looking at this week is called Broken Pedestal. This is basically the never meet your heroes trope, right? Where someone's built up in lore in somebody's head about being this great person. You meet them, and they're not all you thought they were. So, the book I'm looking at is actually a James Bond novel, Moonraker, by Sir Ian Fleming. Now, there's a character in there, Sir Hugo Drax, revered by the British public, a great patriot, using enormous wealth to gift Britain nuclear defense system. Now, even James Bond admired him. Wow, this is such a great guy. Turns out that Drax is not even his real name. His real name is Graf Hugo von der Drosch, and he's actually a Nazi seeking revenge against England for the destruction of Nazi Germany. He's masqueraded as this British person for all years after being rescued by some British military disguise, stole the identity of a missing British soldier, and faked amnesia into not remembering his pre-World War II life. That is awesome. What if this Joy had turned out the big twist was she's a Nazi?
I think we would be watching this episode in Japanese then, because it would not have gotten dubbed.
This would have been one of the forgotten
banned
episodes.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Let's rate this thing. Now, you'd normally go to the 4 the plastic ping pong pitcher of objective rankings, pull out 2 ping pong balls with arbitrary categories on them, rank them 1 to 10, and get an objective score off of that. I am not in my regular setup today. I do not have the physical 4, so instead I will just generate a random number from 1 to 41 and get a category on that. I'm going to just click generate over and over. Graham, you say stop whenever you feel like it.
Stop.
All right. First one will be, it should not take that long to load a number, 25, which will be Psyduck?
Psyduck? So this is
Psyduck?
how we're feeling about Psyduck in
How we
this
feel
moment.
about Psyduck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vibes-wise, Psyduck, feeling-wise, whatever. Psyduck isn't in this episode, but it is about water Pokemon.
He barely shows up these days.
It was weird that he wasn't in this one. It's a water episode.
None of Missy's Pokemon actually show up in this episode.
That's true. And there are
It's
no
very
Psyducks that Joy is helping, are there?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so. But Psyduck would have fit right in. Come on.
Oh, absolutely.
Psyduck would have also been a good Pokemon to try to break through Joy's fear barrier.
Mhm.
Like if she's like, get that duck away from me, and Psyduck's like, sigh, and try to like waddle up and like falling on her and stuff. That would have been fucking fun.
Cuddle up to her leg. Oh my god, that would have been so much. That would have been so good.
That
Come
would have
on.
worked. So this is a Psyduck episode that doesn't have Psyduck in it at all, but I want to give this a 7.5 because of
7.5.
how insertable Psyduck is into this episode.
7.5. See, that makes me upset. And so now I'm feeling down about it. So I'm going to go 3.4.
Okay, because the potential has actually caused you some pain.
Yeah, exactly. It's causing me a lot of psychological damage.
Right. Now you
right,
hate
well-
water Pokemon too.
Fuck! Alright. Second one will be 40. Let me count out the numbers here. 40 is one of our pay it forwards. It's the first time this one's come up. Treasure trash / shiny shit.
Okay, what was that one all about? Do you remember?
Well, it came from the Murkrow episode where they were collecting a bunch of garbage because it was shiny.
Yes.
And so your thought was like one man's trash type stuff, and mine was just literally stuff that is shiny. And we couldn't come to an agreement, so we just put both of them on one ball.
Okay. So, for treasure trash, I mean water Pokemon is treasure, but they're Joy's trash. And there was literally trash in the Lake Lucid, and then there wasn't.
Oh, there you go.
Now, there isn't much shiny stuff, is there? I guess
I would argue the lake.
Oh, the lake itself is a sheen.
It's crystal clear.
That's good. That's good.
So I would say that. But there's not many like objects in this episode.
No.
I would say. The glass of all of the stuff, all the tanks and whatnot, glass shines. But other than that,
this is a little weak. But it's gonna live. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah. 4. Yeah, I'm around there too. I'm gonna go 4.8. As a reminder, everybody, when we draw whatever constitutes a 10 ball, we make up a category for that episode that will give it an automatic 10. But that category then goes into the 4 port. If it ever is drawn and receives a 0, it is permanently banned forever. That is a redundant sentence. Now, I put that in the wrong fucking cell, so I need to re-enter those numbers. 4 and 4.8 is 4.4 overall. The Joy of Water Pokémon, 4.925, which, yeah, I would say so. So let's get into episode 209. Got Miltank? Have you got Miltank, Graham?
What a marketing job by Big Milk, eh?
Right? Yeah, I watched a video about that. A guy I've been watching lately, Scott Kramer. He's got some great stuff. He had a whole video about that from a while ago, and it was very interesting about how, they were just, making shit up to sell milk.
Oh, just
they had too much milk.
How milk was really pushed in the 80s, 90s, stuff like that.
They had too much milk, so they made up a campaign.
Yeah, totally.
So, got Miltank. Oh boy, we're so close to Olivine, boys. We're getting there. One last stop, a deserted one. It's a desert. Rocks and sand. Sand and rocks.
Yeah,
Olivine's
they should
on the
be
other
at
side.
Olivine, they're saying, but all we see is the desert. Okay, that's a twist. Lots of twists today. The guidebook says there's a Poke Center nearby, so they're going to go find it. When Pikachu is snatched by an electric-proof net. Turns out Team Rocket was disguised as a rock.
Blood, Team Rocket, why don't you bother someone else for a change? You should just bother to prepare for trouble. While you're at it, make it double. And then Meowth jumps in and is like, I'm cutting this one short. Wobbuffet. And then they're done, which was great.
Yeah, quick, sweet. We get a break, cutting back. Brock is pulling Ash out of a hole. James, nothing but net. They're fleeing away in the balloon. Wheezing is sent out. Smoke screen. Ash is going to use Cyndaquil. And Cyndaquil jumps. Yeah, he calls for smoke screen. Cyndaquil comes out, who jumps on Wheezing's face instead of attacking from a distance.
That was great. His latches on.
Just latches
Ash tells him to flamethrower, but he gets thrown off before he can get it out. And then there's a big bump on his nose. Oh,
yeah,
no.
Big boo-boo, and it's growing red.
And Team Rocket starts making fun of him. You Cyndaquil, the red-nosed Pokemon. Oh, it's so sad.
What an uninspired bird, too. I'm like, you guys are the pun masters, and that's all you thought of?
Ugh, disgusting. Yeah, they're making fun of him, makes his flame go down. You know, how emasculating, you know? Really killing his mojo. Is this another penis joke?
A lot of erection metaphors here, lack of erection metaphors in Pokemon, if you look for them.
Well, Weezing finally gets out a sludge, but Ash blocks Cyndaquil off. He's firing back up. Smoke screen's coming in, but Cyndaquil flamethrowers it, and it causes an explosion where Team Rocket, they have went up in smoke. And
Pikachu just Pikachu gets away now during the explosion. The balloon's punctured. Now, during this all, though, now where's Cyndaquil? Cyndaquil got kind of blown away, I guess? Interesting.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, we see him wake up somewhere, and he wanders off. And then there's a Sentret, who we've seen before, calling for its friends, like we've seen it do before. It's scouting, because it's the scout Pokemon. Look at that.
There is something about a Cyndaquil waking up in a desert alone, walking lonely, that kind of injured, that kind of just, it has a vibe to it.
Yeah.
It feels like a Western. It feels like the start for a Western.
Yeah, dust, tumbleweed.
Yeah, I was kind of digging those vibes. So what is he going to get into? Yeah,
man, I saw a tumbleweed fly across the road like a few weeks ago, or a few months ago maybe. That was a trip. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
Not something you see that often here.
I loved it.
Cool.
Like, man, one of those things. It's like when you see a Cybertruck, you're like, oh my god.
Cybertrucks and tumbleweeds.
Yeah. I've heard about it, but man, seeing it in real life, that's really something else. Anyway,
let's tweet that at Elon. I get the same feeling when I see a tumbleweed as when I see a Cybertruck.
Nah.
That is so
Twitter.
nonsensical.
I'm done with it.
Even mean?
I'm done with Twitter. Fuck that.
That's good.
Yep. No, I'm done with Twitter. Until Elon stops being a total dipshit and sells it back to whoever to make it regular Twitter again. I'm done with Twitter, so join us on Blue Sky.
All right, so they see, yes, definitely join us on Blue Sky. So there are some other Pokemon kind of glimpsing around. We get a glimpse of, right? Sneaking around. The Sentret you mentioned, there's also some Sandshrew and Butterfree.
Thank God it's a Sandshrew, not a Sandslash.
Kellan.
Or I'd have some words.
Kellan has a Nurse Joy-esque affliction for Sandslash.
I'm racist, but only to Sandslash. Get that straight. Yeah, calls for his friend. Gang is searching. Maybe let's go to the center, see if anyone's, brought in a lost Cyndaquil. And we go to the center. Nope, nobody's brought in a lost Cyndaquil. This center seems to just be here for exposition purposes, because Joy is like, there's this legend. Oh, where, sick Pokemon wander off here, and then they wander back, and they're better than before. They're good as new. So maybe there's like an oasis where Pokemon get healed. And immediately Ash is like, an oasis? Tell me where it is! Tell me where it is! And they have to be like, Ash, it's a legend. Like, it might not be real. It's like, I don't care.
It's literally called the Secret Pokemon Oasis. And he goes, you gotta tell me where it is.
It's in your mind. It's in your heart, Ash.
Yeah, it was with you all along.
So, they're gonna go see if they can find this thing. Joy's only advice, careful in the sun. So, care. But Cyndaquil's wandering, still falls over in exhaustion. But Sentret's buddies are here to help. A Doug trio pops up and starts carrying it away. Team Rocket, they're stuck on a spire. Hot and thirsty, as they say.
They see some Pokemon go by and they recognize Cyndaquil as part of it. Oh,
Red-nosed Cyndaquil.
Now, what if they used this Rudolph as bait to capture Pikachu? That'd be the perfect plan. But how do we get down for this balloon?
Well, Jesse, throws Meowth on the ground.
I'll
Chucks
help
him.
with that part. Just drops him down. He goes,
I threw him
my
on
face.
the ground.
That's not my dad. It's a cell phone.
This is a cell phone. Welcome to the real world, jackass.
Welcome to the real world, Meowth.
I love it. But yeah, he hits the ground. He's got this red spot on his face now. And so a Dugtrio, another one pops up, carries him away. And Jesse and James, they're freaking out, and they end up falling out of the balloon. No Dugtrio to carry them away, though.
No, they're just shaking so much they fall straight down. Cut away, and the gang has Onyx out looking around the desert. They don't see fuck all. But Misty, from a distance, sees 2 quagsires. That's interesting.
No, that was Pikachu. Pikachu spots it. Onyx couldn't. Onyx is fucking useless.
They do not give Onyx great moments. They finally gave him a little bit of flowers in last week's movie when he was fighting that Tyrannosaurus star or whatever. That was cool.
Yeah, and he still got his ass whooped.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't last for long, but it looked really cool for a little bit.
It looked cool. Yeah, I'll give him that. But yeah, Pikachu spots 2 quagsire, and she's like, but why are there water Pokemon in the desert? And Brock
actually,
yeah, they're part ground type, so they could also just be in the desert, Ash. Pokemon are just everywhere. I mean, come on. You should know this by now.
If they're water, they should be around water, I suppose.
Well, they make
purposes.
water. So they could make water in the desert.
But that's the interesting part. Yeah, I wonder if Ash is not saying, why are there water Pokemon here, but saying, is that a clue for the oasis?
There you go.
So the gang runs up the hill after them, and the quagsire are running away, and at the top of the gang see a mountain. Ooh, okay. There's a little bit of rock over there. Noctowl and Crobat apparently had been scouting also. They return, and they also say, you should go check out that mountain.
You should go up that mountain. I do have to say, when I'm doing my notes, I try to shorthand as much as possible to save typing and to save time. I noted Crobat and Noctowl just as Crob and Knock, and I think that's a great name for that duo.
Crob and Knock.
Crob and Knock.
The Adventures of Crob and Knock.
That's great.
They'll take your money and your girlfriend. Crob and Knock.
He can't fit it all up there. Crob and Knock. Okay.
What?
That was a Noctowl penis joke.
Oh,
it's too big. All right, never mind. Never mind.
It's actually caused a lot of problems in his relationships. Crob and Knock.
He has to special order underwear. Crob and Knock.
Crobbing and knocking.
Then just nothing about Crobat. It's just all about Noctowl.
It's all about Noctowl's giant wiener.
Well.
Oh, the struggles.
Well, Dugtrio now, they're carrying the Pokemon along. Team Rocket, they're doing the quick step sneaky thing, which I always appreciate. I love that in a cartoon. Cyndaquil and Meowth, they get thrown on top of some Executor and they kind of like crowd surf on them for a little bit and get walked down into a cave. And on the other side is another cave. And there's all these like Wooper and Poliwrath and all kinds of Pokemon, because this was the point that I realized there are too many Pokemon to list, and there's so many Pokemon.
There's a ton of different Pokemon hanging out. It's the Oasis. And the Executor drops them off. And what does this say here? Is that a moo?
Moo. Something calling from the tree, and out comes Miltank. We've seen Miltank.
Yes, got Miltank.
Cow.
Remember, we learned all about Miltank back in the Whitney episodes in Goldenrod.
Right at the start of the season. Yep.
Miltank walks up to the Meowth, says, hey, watch where you're aiming those things. He's talking about his udders.
They're just flopping in the wind there. Miltank just lays a hand on Cyndaquil like Jesus to the leper, and a bell rings, and Cyndaquil's nose is healed.
Wow.
And then she does the same to Meowth.
They found a healer person. Meowth goes, that light is so warm. Interesting. Very nice. And Meowth also gets healed. His face is right as rain. Cut away. Jesse and James are insulted about not being invited. They're still sneaking back, right? So they want to join. And now the Executor, though, they've seen them, and they use this move that, like, turns them around. Suddenly they're like, what? The mountain's behind us. How did that happen?
It's got to be hypnosis. I think they talk about it later. They've been hypnotized, whatever.
They're hypnotized, and that's what's coming right now, because Onyx and the gang, they do see Jesse and James walking like zombies. They're clearly hypnotized. Brock sees the Executor, and this was crazy because, like, you could figure this out, but the way that they usually deduce information in this show, I'm like, they are not this clever, because they were like,
Mhm.
they must be using a psychic move to keep humans away from the oasis.
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes you don't even know what a door is. And you put that together.
That is very true. What they should have been like, in a normal episode, is like, those Executor, it's like they're doing this weird psychic move. And Team Rocket's over here, not acting like Team Rocket. I bet those two things aren't related at all.
Right, exactly. They would spell out some information and not tie them together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but I do want to go back to that scene where Miltank heals the Pokemon. Did you have any idea what was going on here? Do you know what this was?
Well, not when I watched it. So I have seen it on Bulbapedia. Do you want to fill me in?
Come on. This is the move Heal Bell. And that's when I realized, like, when the bell chimed, I was like, oh, that's what this is. Heal Bell heals status conditions of your entire party, regardless of if they're on the field or not.
Okay.
But this also goes into something else about this. I was very confused because after watching this episode, because if you played the games, you know that right before Olivine is a Miltank farm where they sell moo milk.
Oh, so they could have done it about that.
They could have done it about the goddamn Miltank farm because it's right before Olivine. Because, spoiler alert, we get to Olivine next episode. Why did they do this?
That would have been smart. So, Kellan, what I thought that you were going to talk about was the dub edit.
Oh, yeah, we forgot. No, we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet.
Okay, but it's how the healing was done. So I thought if you were talking about the healing now, you could talk about the healing. Okay.
Well, we'll get there. But the initial healing is Heal Bell. It's a move Miltank learns. And in Gen 2, only Celebi and Miltank can learn it via level up. So it is quite exclusive.
Right, so they were looking at the Executor, reasoning about that, got to avoid the Executor to not end up like zombies. Ash decides they should approach from underground, so Onyx starts to dig. Cut away, and we've got Meowth.
Best line of this episode specifically. They see the hypnosis and stuff, and Ash just goes, well, that'll be easy. We just have to avoid their hypnosis. Brilliant.
He's clever. What a clever boy.
Yeah.
Clever boy.
They did figure out, we'll go underground, and that's not dumb. That's pretty smart, so. Anyway. Yeah, Meowth, he's just kind of chilling. He thanks Miltank for healing his nose, which I thought he didn't have a nose, Joe. You've made jokes about that multiple times.
Oh, I thought he just said face.
No, he said nose. Thanks for healing my
nose. He comments
how,
so Miltank, all the Pokemon know to come here for healing. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cut, and we've got Onyx emerging, underground spring, and they see light ahead. Cut again, Jesse and James are walking still, and they reach a cliff wall, bump, snap out of it. They're right back where they started, so they're going to patch up their balloon and reapproach from the sky.
Also a smart idea. And yes, this, I believe it is this scene where Meowth is talking to Miltank, where there is a dub edit where they cut a 45-second scene where a big part of it is Cyndaquil and, more importantly, Meowth suckling on Miltank's teat.
Oh, they're sucking those udders for nourishment.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting filled right up.
Just amazing. I'm so sad they cut it.
Right, and so that move, that's what I was wondering about the move. So you said there's Heal Bell, and that's an actual move, and they definitely use that, but in the Japanese version, they also use milk drink. So basically, they're implying they heal two ways. That this Miltank's got two healing moves, right?
Yeah, so like it uses the Heal Bell to heal off the status condition of the nose injury, and then
nose injury.
Yeah, and then Milk Drink to get them up to full health. So Milk Drink it restores 50% of the user's HP, and it's a move you can use out of battle too to heal your Pokemon, where you can use Milk Drink on your party members, and it will sacrifice some of Miltank's HP to heal your Pokemon's HP, your other Pokemon's. So they can suckle on Miltank's teeth as well.
Suckle on the teeth.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this dub edit part on Bulbapedia is just crazy. Like, and the teeth can be seen in Cyndaquil's mouth. What a good line.
It's so good.
I hope we pull a jelly donut effect.
Yeah, right. I will put the screen cap from Bulbapedia of the cut scene. It's just so funny because it's
really
got
funny.
His mouth on the fucking udders of a Miltank, and it's
and he's loving it.
I'm gonna try to make that the thumbnail. It's so fucking good.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, so they've emerged. Team Rocket's gonna repair their balloon. you want to start back up here? The gang have entered the oasis. It's amazing.
Yeah, they've
We can
emerged
see
outside.
Cyndaquil from above.
Yeah, and Brock says, and this was some serious exposition from Brock. Like, I started the line, and halfway through I was like, oh, I should have written that down, because this is so much. He says, I've heard about this, but I've never seen it. Miltank must be using its milk drink ability, where it uses its milk to transfer its own energy to other Pokemon in order to heal them. That's so much.
You mean Miltank is helping to heal my Cyndaquil? Shills down. Hey, Cyndaquil, hope you're happy. Hope you're okay.
So it's literally feeding them, and yeah, bad idea. And then we get Miltank's cry of meow, meow.
The Pokemon are alarmed. Pokemon surround them all. Ooh.
Staring at them menacingly, they realize, humans ain't welcome here. Go away. Gang's very confused because they see Meowth here, and he's talking to them, telling them to go away. Right, what are you doing here? He's like, I had an injury too. Okay.
He's like, you're barely a Pokemon.
And I think Ash is like, they healed you?
Right.
Wow. Okay. They have to heal
that
every
Joy
Pokemon.
last time.
Like Joy,
these Pokemon don't discriminate.
Yep. No humans. They just want to live in peace here. Cyndaquil kind of vouches for the humans, but, there's a Mankey there. He's really pissed off, and the Pokemon still want them to go. Ash dives into the water, and then, Poliwrath and a Mankey are blocking Cyndaquil. Ash just kind of pleads, and, I'm just trying to help my friend. And Team Rocket from above, we're only trying to find our friend too. They come down to the balloon. So excuse our intrusion. What else could we do? Not them. Yeah. So prepare for trouble. Now, who else would it be? Now make it double. It's an all right motto, except they're in they got this big space rock space station thing with Jesse and James's face on them, and Wobbuffet's in a spacesuit. That part was sick, but made no sense.
It really did it. And that's the kind of thing that I always wonder if there's this wasn't listed on Bulbapedia, so we don't know, but I always wonder if there's some wordplay going on there that made more sense. Or are they just trying to lean into Rocket? But it's so out of place for the episode. I don't know.
I think it's just they just randomly decided, let's do a space theme because it's Team Rocket and they're blasting off at the speed of light and stuff.
Yeah, we felt like it this time.
But it doesn't, they don't do it all the time, so it's confusing. But Ash has to tell them, dude, hey, this Miltank here healed your friend Meowth, so you should just chill and thank them for that. And Jesse's like, we didn't ask her to do that.
My god. James reminds Meowth that he's a villain, and as a villain, he'll join us stealing these Pokemon. Gather up your friends.
So Arbok, Weezing, Victreebel, eats James, of course. They're in. Jesse throws Wobbuffet in, literally. And we got a standoff.
Yeah.
Get ready to battle.
Team Rocket's Pokemon versus everybody else. Meowth isn't going to battle with them this time. He's turned on principle.
Mm-hmm. He's got a little bit of conscience, apparently.
Yeah, Miltank's turned this into a special oasis for Pokemon. I can't do it and you can't make me.
Arbok lays down his guns.
It's a mutiny.
As does Weezing and Victreebel and Wobbuffet. And yeah, James cries, it's a mutiny! That was a good one. I had an actual laugh at that. That was great. All the Pokemon understand one another, so they're not going to fight. So they're Team Rocket's like, okay, fine, we'll just call them all back. Doesn't matter to us. Meowth begs to them, leave this one place alone for Miltank. And Jesse's like, nah, we're not going to do that. So anti-electric net, go.
We want that Miltank now with the nice tits.
Yeah.
We want that big natural Miltank. So they got this electric
squirting
net
that milk everywhere.
They say. Part to do.
So they've got Snake and Miltank. Meowth gets aboard to try and save it. Jesse and James bind and gag him, though.
Yeah, he's all tied up.
and then Pikachu and Cyndaquil are out. And Ash is like, we gotta do something. And Brock and Misty are like, well, the net's anti-electric, so Cyndaquil's gonna have to do this. Or maybe any of the other 40 Pokemon in this oasis could do something.
Yeah, there
are Beedrill.
Right.
They could do something.
But no, they gotta use Cyndaquil to just bookend the episode thematically, right? So
we need that
powering up
moment.
Huge flame. This is that milk at work here.
Oh, yeah. Burns hard. James just wants to kind of retreat. No. We got to get all of the Pokemon. But James forgot the fire extinguisher, so that's going to really throw a wrench in things. Cyndaquil flamethrowers, burns the rope. And then there's just more just Cyndaquil, use flamethrower to burn the rope to release Miltank. You could have just said flamethrower the rope.
I know, just crazy exposition. Explaining every little thing, Speedwagon style. Bayleaf's out, uses Razor Leaf to free the Miltank then. The electric guitar hits. That's nice.
Yeah, this is that good, like, final boss moment after your friends all show up.
Yeah.
That's what that music is that I've talked about in the past. Miltank just falls into water, and Thunderbolt blasts him off again. Everybody seems to be all right. Thank God for
Meowth's
Cyndaquil.
flying too. And he's like, not the kind to say I told you so. James goes, not the kind either, so I'll just think it. Jesse goes, all right, I told you so.
Ash thanks Miltank. Sorry we breaking and entering. Sorry we're criminals for that. We won't tell anybody about that. Miltank's like, yeah, we'll make sure of that. Whips out a fucking pistol, shoots him in the head.
Says, you tell anybody, we're coming for your family.
You're gonna sleep with the fishes tonight.
Actually, he shows him, Miltank shows that he's got Delia's address. And it's like, you're not safe.
This your home, Ash?
Maybe it's our home.
Well, no, Miltank is grateful to them. All the other Pokemon are. And, more Meowth from Miltank, which was cute. They're waving goodbye. Back to thinking about competition, because Olivine is just ahead, and thank God it is, because that's the episode.
Okay, literary hour. On tvtropes.com, I found this trope called Marvelous Milk, right? And it really is what you were talking about, was this whole agenda where milk was being pushed everywhere, the Got Milk advertising agency, and it leaked into media a lot. There is some older ties to viewing milk as a healing sort of marvelous drink that puts you back up on your feet. We can go back to classical mythology. There is actually a version of the Heracles myth. Heracles, usually called Hercules in English, a bit of a folk hero in the sense that different parts of Greece would had different stories of Hercules. So it's not always one coherent vision. And there is one that's where he was believed to have his super strength. It came from being breastfed by Hera, who didn't recognize Heracles despite trying to kill him, so snuck in there and got some of that sweet booba juice. He apparently bit too hard while sucking, and this resulted in the creation of the Milky Way galaxy.
That is an incredible origin story for our galaxy.
Yeah, a little bit of
bite a boob.
Hera lactation incident.
To go back a little less far, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Milk heals you.
Good ones. Milk heals.
Chateau Romani that fills you. It's like an adult milk beverage.
Gotta love a milk bar.
Fully heals you and gives you infinite magic for the rest of the cycle.
So that was another trope I learned about a bit too. Was this milk bar one where in cartoons they would if kids were in a situation that was kind of bar-like, they'd be drinking milk instead of alcohol. Go to a bar and be like, give me a 2% shopkeep.
Keep them coming.
Exactly.
There's some, I don't remember what it is, but there's some show where some kid is taking shots of milk and he tells the bartender to keep him coming. I can picture it in my head. I can't remember what exactly it is.
Yeah, though. It's definitely a thing.
Which show it is? Oh, that's unfortunate. Milk, yeah, big thing. I like milk. Milk's great. Milk's delicious. Let's rate, shall we?
Yes, please. Okay, so for power time, what do we got first, Kellan?
Well, first one will be 2, which will be a very early category, and that is the humor.
Okay, I mean we had some laughs.
There's some good laughs. A mutiny.
Even. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't technically in the episode, but Meowth sucking on Miltank's teeth is so fucking funny.
That was hilarious.
Cutting the Team Rocket motto short, I found humorous. That was fun at the start.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
it's not a hilarious
jokes.
episode though. Yeah.
Wobbuffet in a spacesuit, I'll give that. That's fun.
Not bad. Team Rocket is zombies. Okay.
Jesse throwing Wobbuffet out of the balloon to go fight. That's always fun.
Yeah, just some of their Team Rocket's infighting was kind of funny.
Yeah. I'm going to go 5.9.
But yeah, it's not a gut buster. It's not bad. And there's a goofiness to it all that's kind of fun. But I'll go 4.7. 4.7.
4.7. So that's a 5.3 overall. That final category, let me get one more number here. 7. Another early one. The Pokemon variety. Interesting.
Ooh, pretty high.
Pretty decent.
I mean, you even used the phrase, there's too many to count.
Yeah.
At one point. The Pokemon list on Bulbapedia, we've got, the usual suspects. I'm going to skip all of them, but then besides the gangs, we got Dugtrio, Executor, Miltank, Caterpie, Butterfree, Beedrill, Pidgeotto, Weedle, Sandshrew, Paris, Mankey, Poliwag, Poliwrath, Bellsprout, Krabby, Sentret, Bellossom, Apom, Sunflower, Wooper, and Quagsire.
Gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all.
And that's
Sick
skipping Team Rocket and the gangs Pokemon.
Yeah. So a pretty good variety.
Pretty
again,
good.
most of them, actually, no, some of them are only seen a little bit, but most of them do play at least somewhat of a role because they're kind of blocking off.
Yeah, they're
the
kind of like
humans
a
and stuff.
mob. Yeah.
So it's pretty good, actually, I would say.
Pretty good.
A solid variety. I'm going to go 7.6.
I'm going to go 8.2.
8.2. So that is 7.9 overall. And for Got Miltank, 6.6. So above average.
Ooh, 666. The number of the milk
Number of
beast.
What percent is the milk beast?
The milk beast is just half and half. It's so thick.
THICC?
Yeah, just straight up cottage cheese leaking out of that.
Nice. All right, well, that's it for this week. Did you know that? That's crazy.
Yeah, I did. Kellan, what are we going to do next week? Are we at Olivine yet?
Next week, well, yes. I said we are going to get to Olivine next episode. Because
Heck
next
yeah.
episode is also the final week of Johto League Champions.
Oh, interesting.
So we're going to finish it off with the final 2 episodes of the season.
And after that, there's just one more.
Yes.
It's 3 seasons, right?
We'll do, after Johto League Champions, there's Master Quest, and that is the end of the Johto arc. But before we get there, we have to finish this one, starting with episode 210, Fight for the Light, or in Japanese, Radiance Lighthouse! ! Battle at Asagi City! ! Where we will meet Jasmine and Olivine.
Yes, and
then
her
followed
Pokemon
by...
looks like... No, that's a sick Pokemon. Never mind. Keep going.
Both, yeah. It's a sick Pokemon, and it's also hella sick. And then episode 211, this might be my favorite episode title, at least in English. It's Machoke Man. Machoke Man. Or in Japanese,
a Machoke
Man. Or in Japanese, Tonba Gym! ! Wrestling match! !
Wow, English actually wins that one. You're right, Machoke Man is fucking awesome.
Also, it's so good. Also bearing the lead, Gym Battle.
Ooh,
Getting some actual progress next week.
Excited for next week. Glad they're closing out the season with some action, with a bit of progress. So that sounds fun. Please join us there. Thank you for listening to this episode. This has been To Kill A Delibird. Leave comments down below if you're listening on YouTube. That's youtube.com/HydraLeech is the channel. We love engaging with you every week. Also check us out Spotify, anywhere fine podcasts are downloaded if you prefer to listen in audio format. Engage with us however your platforms allow. You can hit us up, tokilladelibird@gmail.com. And we're also on Twitter and Blue Sky. Handles are tokilladelibird, but also as Kellan announced earlier, got a spreadsheet that's linked in the video version.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
In the description. Check us out in that. Check us out there if you want to ask us questions. That's kind of the most efficient way. Intro and outro music is 80 Synthwave by Alexi Action. Kellan does a TikTok, HydraLeeches, it's called. And then Twitches, twitch.tv/HydraLeech. And finally, we've got a new addition to the whole bunch of shit that I spew. We've got a Patreon. So if you'd like to support the channel, hit us up there. There is nothing of value on there, so just treat it like a tip jar.
But speaking of TikTok, by the time you're hearing this, TikTok in the States should be not working.
Yeah, maybe
that's
banned,
interesting.
Right?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's a bit of a time capsule before Sunday, so it can be
interesting.
All right, but yeah, join me on Twitch. I'm revamping everything, and once I get everything going, I've got some good ideas, and I'm gonna try and make things a little fucking weird. So it's gonna be fun.
All right.
That's
we
it.
Love weird. We love weird.
Really? Do we? I don't know about that.
I love weird.
Has it? I mean, weird. I thought this was been 106 episodes of very normal Pokemon discussion.
I believe I talked about Miltank's big naturals, Kellan.
You also talked about Pokemon twerking. So that, yeah, you know what? I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right, bye. That's good.
Kellan, make a joke.
I thought that was a good joke to end on.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, we'll go with that. And then we'll actually go with that.